Welcome to the first installment of Coffee with Callisto. I am here with my colleague Rachel Stenzel, and we're going to get to know her a little bit better today. So do you want to just start off by introducing yourself, telling us where you're from, and when you started playing?
Sure. Hi everyone, I'm Rachel. I play second violin in the Callisto Quartet. I'm originally from the Chicago suburbs. I come from a small town called Holiday Hills that no one's ever heard of. I started playing violin when I was about 9 years old. And haven't stopped since.
So when did you first have your first experience in chamber music and know that you wanted to be in a quartet?
I would probably say, I guess I played in my first string quartet when I was in 7th grade, and that was at Midwest Young Artists.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly that program was very important for me in terms of chamber music,
right.
And wanting to pursue that. I remember I was assigned, it was just a summer group, and I was assigned the last movement of Beethoven, Opus 18, number 4, and the coach that we had was like, wow, that's an ambitious first quartet, and I was just thinking, is it? This seems pretty easy to me. I mean, but yeah, she was right.
Yeah, no kidding. So what about any specific challenges and or perks of playing second violin specifically?
Well, I think probably the challenges of second violin are the same things that I love about it, which would be just the fact that you are constantly changing roles. I mean, you would know, you're an inner voice. Constantly changing roles. All the time you have to wear so many different hats and just play a different part in the group, sometimes every other measure.
Yeah.
But I think that's also why I love playing second violin, because it just changes all the time and you really have to be on your toes. Whether that's, playing a melody with the first violin in harmony 1 minute, or then suddenly you're the top octave with the viola, or you're playing a bass line with the cello. I mean, the articulations, the melodies, then don't even get into intonation, trying to change all those thirds. So yeah, it's a fun time.
I think one thing that is also really rewarding about playing an inner voice, and I don't know like what you think about this, but like I think sometimes the inner voice parts and how you execute them can make the difference between, a piece being pretty good and like really, really magical. And one thing I love about that is, as an audience member, like you can't always put your finger on that and like why it is.
Yeah.
Because the melody is very obvious, everyone can hear it most of the time. And people's ears can latch onto outer voices more easily, but even if people can't really identify what you're doing, it can really kind of elevate a performance, and the way the composer, like what they give to us, really kind of set their pieces apart and make them unique. So I think that's kind of cool. It's kind of like a hidden superpower.
Yeah.
So I enjoy that as well.
Yeah.
What did you not expect about life in a professional quartet? So I know we all, had a lot of experiences in high school and in college playing quartets, and you have this idea of what you think it's going to be like in a professional ensemble, and now that you're actually doing it, what has surprised you?
I think what's the most unexpected thing for me, being in a professional string quartet, is that your life is rehearsing. And it's easy to think that, oh, I play in a string quartet, it's concerts and traveling, and, pre-COVID, that's what it was a lot. But that's really the tip of the iceberg. And so I think it's extremely rewarding, in fact, maybe even more rewarding to, have those successes in rehearsal and really get a piece to the place you want it. So yeah, I think that was unexpected, but it's certainly very rewarding.
I think also, when you say the tip of the iceberg, like with traveling, like the fun part of traveling is also the tip of the iceberg. Is being there, but you spend a lot of time in airports and in the car and dealing with kind of those types of headaches. But definitely worth it.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What piece or passage still makes you nervous, and do you get nervous for performances still?
Sometimes, yeah. I certainly have learned how to deal with it better, so being nervous doesn't really faze me that much anymore, at least for quartet performances. But I think the passage or piece that I have to practice the most anytime that we program it would be Debussy Quartet. It's like a killer for second violin, for inner voices. Specifically the second movement, I can't tell you how many times I've played that thing with a metronome, and I feel like I still can't make it even or fast enough.
Well, and that's like one of those things too, right? It's like you don't have the melody, you have a lot of textural elements kind of in the background, but you know if you don't really execute it correctly, the whole piece is going to kind of fall flat. No. So you might not, it's kind of, you have to work really hard to then not even really get credit for the work that you're doing.
Yeah, it just has to be like perfect in the background, and then so that nobody will notice it, because they'll notice it if it's bad. Right. Unfortunate.
Right. So it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Do you have any memorable performance fails?
Oh goodness. Yes. I think my most memorable performance fail wasn't with the quartet actually. I was doing some degree recital at CIM, and I was playing on a Amati violin from 1576, which was definitely the oldest piece of wood I'd ever laid hands on. I was playing the second movement of Ravel Sonata, which has tons of these strumming pizzicatos, this blues movement, and my bridge snapped in half and flew on the floor. And yeah, that was nerve-wracking.
It was like a gunshot, I remember.
It did sound like
really
a gunshot,
loud.
yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd broken my E string or something, but I looked down and all my strings were still there. I'm like, wait, but I can't play them. What's going on? So I picked the bridge up off the floor, and I got a new violin and finished the rest of the piece.
What would you do if you weren't a musician?
Well, when I was a kid growing up, before I played violin or when I wasn't very serious, I always, for some reason, thought that I would be an elementary school teacher.
Oh,
which
that's really cute.
I'm not sure why. I guess my dad is also a public school teacher. But now, if I wasn't a musician, I would definitely be some kind of secretary or a lawyer. I'm actually very interested in being a lawyer.
Oh, so we're very lucky to have these skills that you still have that you can apply to the quartet. She's very organized. Nothing gets past Rachel. So, okay, I think we're going to move on now to a fast round. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and you have to answer as quick as you can.
Okay.
That's the premise. Okay, what is your favorite moment for your instrument in the quartet repertoire?
The end of the first movement of Beethoven Harp.
Beautiful. Okay.
It's perfect.
It is.
I don't know. Second violin glory.
It is. It's total glory. What is a food that you hate?
Any seafood.
Crazy.
No, thank you.
What is your coffee shop order?
Chai latte.
Every time. Rank the Bartok quartets. Favorite to least favorite.
Oh my goodness. My favorite is 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 6. No, I don't know.
Oh no, you put 6 last. Okay,
I don't know.
It's too late. Okay, what is one non-classical genre or artist that you love?
Oh, any kind of classical, jazz, or country fusion. Specifically, I'm thinking of Kittle & Co. They're trio, right?
Yeah, it's like a
bluegrass trio, and the Vision String Quartet does some amazing arrangements of. It's not even necessarily jazz; it's their own compositions.
Yeah, that fusion
genres like that are very cool.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. And finally, what is the best part about being in a quartet?
Can't answer fast enough.
I hope that's a good thing.
I think just having 3 other people around you that you can really rely on and trust every day, and also just experience life with and go amazing places.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next installment.
How was that?
I think that was good.
I tried to be casual.
So should there be like a name for this? No.
You can can call it coffee with Callisto.
Coffee with Callisto. Chai latte with Callisto. Empty mugs with Callisto.
Hello.
Good evening. Should we?
My name is Rachel Stenzel.
Oh, this is awful.
You can post this.
Yeah, the bloopers. There's gonna be more blooper content than regular content.
That's right.